Up on the top, the lettering says Nippon. Now, you don't see that very often because I think that means Japan.
Doug Chadwick's guess isn't wrong. When this racing pigeon was found in Comox late last month, it was so malnourished and so exhausted it couldn't fly. Turns out it was released for a race on the island of Hokkaido on May 9th. Obviously, the bird didn't finish, but how it ended up in BC is anyone's guess.
By the condition he was in, he had flown a long way. With the winds, he had a tailwinds and the currents and that carrying him, he could have made it. But I'd say that he probably flew out to sea, spotted a freighter or something, and landed on, because he'd have to get some food, some water to survive. So maybe somebody fed him a little bit of stuff, and when he got within sight of land, he just up and took off and headed to Vancouver Island. But we'll never know for sure. I'd like to think he flew all the way. But, yeah.
When the pigeon was first located, it was taken here to the Mountain Air Avian Rescue Society. But with no documentation and no idea where it had come from, there was a chance the bird might have to be put down.
We were left with an illegal alien in Canada with no papers, and so trying to find a suitable replacement home, someone who would adopt him, was one of the goals that I set out.
The owner in Japan has been contacted but doesn't want the $350 bird returned. Doug will now use the bird he calls Kato as breeding stock for his own racing program. But he can't let it fly. He might just try to go home.
So I'm going to get him and put him in here with my stock birds. These are birds that I never let out because they're my breeders. They're irreplaceable. So he's going to go in there, and I'll give him a girlfriend and let him raise some youngsters, and I'll race the youngsters.